Hello everyone, welcome again to Synamics S120 Service and Commissioning Training. Today, first of all, we will start with Lesson 1, Fundamentals and Overview. So let's go to our lecture notes. Here you will see the quick overview of the topics. We are right now at the lesson 1, so let's get it started. At this lesson, our objectives are you will become familiar with fundamental principle of a frequency converter, and you will see the concept of modular Synamics S120 system. And then you will be able to identify the most important components of the Synamics family. So, at this example picture, you will see the setup of the automation solution. Here there is an HMI for operator to control and monitoring the system, and controller step 7, 300, 1500, whatever. And other components are IOs, for example ET200, S or M or SP system connected via a communication line to the controller, to each other. And there are some drives with single drives, for instance G120, or at the other hand there are some Synamics multi-access converters and drive system, for example S120. So what's the task of a controller? First of all, we will make some program and develop our project with logic control and processing the I/O signals, data processing, output of the speed set point or whatever via Profibus and Profinet to other components. And at this case, what's the task of a drive system? Speed, torque or position control consists of rectifier, inverter, motor, encoder system, drive control, and conversion of the specific speed to the actual speed. And next page you will see a picture of operation with frequency converter. Here there is a line connection, three-phase supply voltage connected via the switchgear or contactor controlled by the frequency converter itself, and there is a three-phase output to the induction motor or synchronous motor. And you see here the trace signals of voltage set point or actual voltage, depends on time. So at this next page you will see in this picture more detailed the principle of a frequency converter. And basically there is three different section of a drive for cross loop control. On the rectifier side, I will go more detail with zooming. So basically there are 6 diodes, 3-phase rectifier, simple bridge, and after that there is a DC-link with pre-charge resistor or DC-link capacitor. And the third section is inverter with IGBTs in 6 pulse to the output of the motor. So at the modular drive system, For the InFit, it's possible to use diode rectifier, or for regenerative units there are some transistors to work for the rectifier AC to DC, and other inverters for multi-axis modular drive system connected via DC-link connection, and each drives or inverters controlled a different type of motors. What's the advantage? At this case, energy exchange between drives is possible with braking and driving. Typical use case with machine tools with multiple axes or unwinding and winding units. So, joint of use DC-link components are possible. Braking resistors with DC chopper units or capacitor modules for kinetic energy buffering or DC-link, whatever. Other thing is one connection to the line, lower cost for line side components and their installation. When you compare to AC single axis units, multi-axis modular drive system, there are some advantages, of course. And the last thing, design supported control, deceleration and retraction motions in the event of power failure. Yep. For the drive modules, actually with this Sinamics family we will use a control unit CU320 for multi-axis system. There are some InFit units, basic line, active line or smart line modules for line side. There are some components for reactors or filters for line side. Also there are some motor side components for limited current or due to long motor cables we will use. Also our inverter section with book size or block size inverters, whatever. And there are also other DC-link components. Sinamics overview with various formats. At this image you see here the flexible units for different scale of power and for different needs of customer applications. It depends, of course, the application of customer. On the left side there are some modular book size units for small and medium power ranges. At the right bottom you will see compact book size units. In the middle there are some block size classical drive design with PM240-2 with new units, or old types are PM340-50. Power unit with the control unit is separated. Also there are some Sinamics and other chassis type and ready to use cabinet units here for high power ranges. For higher output power, approximately 100 kW and above, chassis format constricted. There are also the second generation of chassis format available for motor modules. And there is a simple performance chart based on the price in different families of Sinamics. Sinamics V, these inverters focus on the price and basic customer needs. Voltage frequency controlled drives. Sinamics G family is available from 0.37 kW up to 250 kW as general purpose drives. And Sinamics S family are the high-end solution for Siemens. At the low voltage V and G drives, you will see here in more detailed view. Basic performance with Sinamics V20, for example, asynchronous motor control up to 15 kW for pumps, fans, compressors, and so on. For general performance, customer needs, Siemens offers to customers and the OEMs with Sinamics G120C compact inverter or frequency converter with power module, and the control side comes together with just one part. That's the difference between Sinamics 120 basically, and it's available up to 18.5 kilowatts. There are some other family for pumps, fans, and compressor controls for Sinamics G120P. Also, there is a new family released by Siemens, G120X. It's really familiar with the G120P. And another product, G111D or G120D, distributed motion control or distributed frequency converter system. It's up to 7.5 kilowatts. Especially it's useful for conveyor system, reduces the engineering time and on the field assembly times. And other different family members are Sinamics G130 and G150 for vector control, for voltage and frequency control, especially without encoder system with big drives. And Sinamics G180 is also designed and manufactured for heavy industries like pumps, fans, blowers, crushers, centrifuge, separators, and so on. At the next page, and product family will continue as basic servo applications. Sinamics 111 for single axis with power modules PM240 or PM340, 350 with control unit CU305 or 305. For the low voltage AC system or high performance solution of the Siemens are Sinamics S120 for production machines with different kind of sectors, packaging, textile, printing, and so on. For the old type DC motor connection, DC voltage applications, Sinamics DCM drives are available with 6RA80 MLFB numbers, especially for use case rolling mill drives, wire drawing, rotary knives, and so on. Also, there are other the family members are medium voltage drives, Sinamics GL, GM, or SM150 drives. Next page, for optimized single axis and multi-axis applications, you can configure and select your own Sinamics drives for your needs. For instance, there are ACAC units for single axis applications. At this image you will see the block size unit, chassis units, and on the other hand there are some available DC-AC units for multi-axis drive applications. Book size compact format, book size format, chassis type, and cabinet modules are available. You see here the control units of Cynamics family, CU320 and CU310. Line modules are available and book size motor modules are similar, and other components like terminal modules or sensor modules are also connected via drive-click interface. Dash 2 means second generation products and hardware released by Siemens. I mentioned also there are two different control units for S120 family. Cynamics S120M family released specially for distributed motion control. There is an AM600 book size unit connected via drive click, and you see here the servo motor with the controller assembled, and hybrid cable, the orange hybrid cable used similar according to topology overview on the right at the screen. So there are some advantages and limitations of this system. IP65 degree of protection integrated power module with or without holding brake. Adapter module 600 interface between the book size components and in motor. It also used hybrid cable. Maximum permissible line length is up to 100 meters. Communication with components is available with drive click interface. At this image, you may see the Profibus or Profinet communication via SIMATIC controller, for instance. And there is a control unit 320, and there are some other components like infeed and book size modules with control unit adapter 31 or 32 connected with blue lines, that means drive click. And on the right side you see the real images of the components. So drive click communication is Ethernet based, 25 volt DC supply integrated in the cable. There is a spectrum image of motors that can be used with Cynamics drives. Simotics S for servo motors, commonly used 1FK7 or 1FT7. Simotics M for main motors like 1PH7 or 8, commonly used in industrial applications. For special cases, liner motors, Simotics L, 1FN3 or 6 is ready to use. For main motors, like in old flywheel presses, retrofit or revision, or with servo presses, for example, torque motors with 1FW3 or 6 is available. Also for machining tools, spindle motors are available. And also starter or Simotion Scout we will use for engineering system. It works with Windows. So for this course there are some safety information, and if you have already CDEMO demo case for Cynamics, there are some additional information related to demo case. Normally there are some exercise or some examples at the end of each topic or section. You can do it by yourself. So CDemo is another division inside the Siemens located in Germany. The guys and colleagues design and manufacture demo cases like this. Then if you want one, you can order from your local Siemens partner, or you can go online on Siemens website or Google on the internet. There are some ready to use demo cases like this. From my point of view, it's useful to learn, and there are some hand terminal for digital input output and analog reference ports. Two different axes located inside the demo case. It's easy to operate. You just plug here to main supply voltage 220-230 volt input. So you see here the red and blue axis, just one control unit and one BLM module and double motor module. So you can use two different type of 1FK7 servo motors, and you can do this kind of exercises mentioned in the lecture notes. Or on the other hand, it's possible of course to build your own demo case. It's up to you. You can see here the structure of the equipment, type and motor plate, rated speed, torque and current, and so on. Which connections you should do if you change the default connections. So far so good. So see you next chapter.